How to knit reversible cable ribbles. Hi, I'm Kristen and welcome back to my channel, Studio Knit. Have you ever wished that your cable patterns looked identical on both sides of your work? Ribbles are rib and cables, a double-sided rib stitch cable texture. When knitting reversible cables, the background texture will also be a reversible stitch. We're using the garter stitch background along with the 1x1 rib stitch and the seed stitch. We're using a ribbing technique that creates the reversible cable texture. It pulls in the stitches with purl stitches hidden within the knit stitches on both sides. In all these samples, we're using a 4-4 right slanting rope cable stitch. Here is a standard one-sided, and you can see that the cable stitch pops on the right side of our work, but when we turn it over to the wrong, it is not identical on the back, the wrong side of our work. One of our double-sided swatches that we'll be knitting up here has a background in the reversible garter stitch, unlike the one-sided version that is in reverse stockinette. The cable stitch is knit in 1x1 rib, unlike the smooth stockinette on the one-sided version. Turning it over, you'll see that our reversible swatch has the cable design on both sides of the work, unlike the one-sided, which of course only shows the cable on the right side of our work. I will have a link in the description so you can receive the free written knitting instructions along with knitting charts so that you can knit these samples up yourself. If you're excited to learn how to knit up these reversible cables, please like up this video. It lets me know that you'd like to see some knitting projects in reverse cables, and make sure you are subscribed to Studio Knit and never miss a stitch. For your knitting supplies, feel free to use any gauge yarn, appropriately sized knitting needles, a cable needle, along with scissors and a tapestry needle. So let's take a look at the 1x1 rib cable, which is reversible, and this is on the garter stitch background. All these little sample swatches are knit with 24 stitches. And on the sides, it's all knit stitch, and in the middle, it is the 1x1 rib stitch. Now, typically, we would just be knitting all of those stitches in the one-sided version, but here we are doing the 1x1 rib stitch. Let's knit the cable row, which is row 5 together. So the background on either side is in garter. That's just knitting all the way down. And I like adding little stitch markers so that it helps me know exactly where the cable stitch begins. Taking our cable needle, we're going to slip 4 stitches onto the cable needle, and then we're holding it back. That's because this is a rope cable that is 4-4R right slanting. So we'll just take those 4 stitches onto our cable needle. I just like using a little double pointed needle, and I paint it pink so that it won't get too confusing in the video for you. And then from our main needle, we're going to knit the 1x1 rib stitch, which is knit 1 and purl 1. Again, bring the yarn to the back, knit 1, and to the front, and purl 1. Now from the cable needle, we are going to do the 1x1 rib stitch as well, which is knitting 1 and purling 1, knit 1, purl 1. And here we can see the little cross of the cable stitch is already beginning. Slip that little stitch marker over and finish up by knitting all stitches to the end of the row. And here we can see that the cable texture is shaping up on both sides of our work. And continue knitting the knit stitch pattern until your piece is the length you desire. And let's take a look. This is the wrong side right now. And when we turn it over to the right side of our work, it is completely identical. Here is our second swatch example, which is on a seed stitch background. Our reversible cables are also knit in the 1x1 rib stitch. So we have our little swatch. We have the seed stitch on the sides, 1x1 rib in the middle, and seed on the other side. Totally identical on both the right and the wrong sides of our work. So the seed stitch on row 5 begins with knitting 1 and then purling 1, and continue this pattern until you get to your little stitch marker, taking the cable needle and slipping 4 stitches onto our cable needle, holding it to the back, and then from our main needle we are going to knit the 1x1 rib stitch. So again, it's knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, and purl 1. Bringing our yarn to the back, then we knit from our cable needle the 1x1 rib stitch, knit 1, purl 1, you guessed it, knit 1, purl 1. And here we can see how the reversible cable is shaping up on both sides of our little swatch after knitting row 5. And then just continue knitting until your piece is the length you desire. I really like how the seed stitch background helps that smooth cable stitch pop. And our last example is a swatch with a 1x1 rib stitch background along with the ribbed cables. As you can see, this is much less defined. The cable is really subtle. So 1x1 rib cables, the background, of course, begins with knit 1, purl 1, and we'll do that until we get to the middle section, slipping the cable needle, holding it to the back of the work, and knitting our cables in the 1x1 rib stitch as well. So knitting from our main needle, and then knitting the stitch from our cable needle, and continue knitting this pattern until your piece is the length you desire. Again, this cable stitch is much more subtle when it is combined with a 1x1 rib stitch background. Nice and stretchy, of course. I hope you are inspired to knit up reversible cable ribble designs in your next knitting project. I have so many great cable patterns for you as well. Make sure to check those out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you here next time. Bye!